Well, hey everybody, this is Pastor Jordan, and I'm coming to you today with another devotional. And as you can probably tell, I'm recording this while I'm sitting in my car. And the reason I'm sitting in my car is that I was thinking about the subject of commutes. Commutes as in the distance that you have to travel from where you live to where you work. And it's a little bit funny for me to think about my commute because my commute's a lot different than it used to be. I used to have a very short commute. I used to actually work at the school that's right down the street from my house. So it only took me about 30 seconds to drive from my house to the school. And then once the school day was over, it took me about 30 seconds to drive back home. So my total commute time every day was a whopping 1 minute. But now instead of being about 30 seconds each way, it's about 30 minutes each way. It takes me about 30 minutes to get from my home to the church. But there's a lot of folks who have an even longer commute than this, a much longer commute. I think about folks that live in big cities, like, say, New York City. Many of them commute an hour, hour and a half each way just to get to work. They'll ride the train in, then hop on the subway, or go through several stops until finally they arrive at the office. And of course, most of them don't just sit there and hang out for all that time, but they use it for something productive. Maybe they have a laptop and they're able to do some work before they actually get to work. Or they read a book every day or listen to music. But they do something somewhat productive during the rather lengthy commute that they have to work every day. And I was pondering, I wonder what these folks are doing now if they're not actually traveling to work. Because so many people are working at home right now. If they don't actually have this commute to the office every day, what are they doing with all that extra time? It's just kind of interesting for me to think about. But then it got me thinking, I wonder what each one of us is doing with the extra time that we have. Because most of us have some extra time on our hands these days. We can't go out and go to restaurants or gather together or do so many of the things that we're used to doing, so we're spending more time at home. It's really the opposite of what we're used to. So often we're used to complaining a little bit that there's just not enough time in the day to do all the things that we need to do. But now there's not enough things to do to fill up all the time in the day. And so the question that sort of arose for me was, what are we doing with this time? Are we actually being productive with all the extra time that we have? Or are we just sort of sitting at home, watching extra TV, twiddling our thumbs? And I know there's a lot of folks right now who are really struggling with mental wellness, and it's a challenge for them just to get out of bed and to do much at all. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those of us who don't face those challenges. See, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to do some really good, really positive things. Maybe there's an area of knowledge that you can grow in, or a new skill that you can learn. Or perhaps there's a hobby that you've really wanted to do for years, but you've never quite had the time. But now you have the time to pick it up. Or there's something that you can do to help other people during this time. See, there's all sorts of possibilities for really positive things that we can do during this time. And so my question is, are you using this time to the fullest potential? Are you just sort of wasting it and not really doing much with it? Consider that, and we'll talk to you soon.